There are obviously two sides to this equation, the return and the cost. And typically, the initial focus is on the cost. So we would typically see that the cost of a contractor just on the monthly basis for the hours worked would be 30%, 40% higher, maybe even as high as 50% depending on the skill compared to a permanent employee. But let me explain why that would be. And you have to ensure that you're comparing apples with apples. So let's not talk quality at this stage, it's just the cost of this particular person. With a contractor, you pay for what you get. So the hours that they are putting in, that they are working for you, that you have approved, that is what you are paying for. So there's your cost. On the permanent side, if we are honest, in terms of permanent employees, there is obviously the salary, but you are giving them leave, which a contractor doesn't have, which you are paying them for. There will be other guaranteed elements depending on the territory that you're in. There may be insurances, there will be sick leave, obviously, other kinds of leave. There's typically then also a bonus at the end of the year based on performance, and that could scale. So the best performing employees will hopefully do really well. When you factor all of these additional costs, and there may be even more, such as office space, desk space that you have to pay for, which you may not have to pay for with the contractor. Sometimes if they're in office, you would. When you add those additional costs and you then effectively divide by the time that they are truly working in a year, then you will find that we're on far more equal footing in terms of the actual cost. So we always encourage our clients to think about both of these, but obviously we'd argue that you're getting quality. Independents live and die by the quality of the work that they do. Their reputation really hinges on their ability to come in and do really good work. If they don't, they will not be getting the next opportunity. So there is a quality of work, an expertise, and a focus on delivery, which is part of the package, so to speak. Then you may be bringing in independent talent for specific needs or specific reasons. So you need particular expertise that you just simply don't have. So there's value in that. So that's one way to look at it. The other is innovation. Often the skills that you're bringing in are around innovation and what that does for your organization, both in the short term and in the long term. Both of those can be applied to upskilling of your permanent staff members and any team members there. That has value long term. And so I think when we think about all of these things, the return is, while difficult to measure, it's definitely evident. So when we were comparing costs, we're really talking about when somebody is working. So comparing the permanent employee who is working versus the contractor who is working. The big advantage is with contractors, you can scale down, which you cannot do with fixed headcounts. And so, yes, in terms of those, the fixed cost reduction, moving to a variable cost model for a proportion of your talent, then that has absolute value. Our experience has been that where independents with great expertise are brought into a team, it really energizes the team, and there can be various reasons for this. We spoke previously about burnout, which could be, if there's a headcount freeze, for instance, just bringing somebody in, just the relief that brings, that's a factor. When that's not a case, but they're bringing in expertise which then is being passed on into the organization, and they're working with these team members, that often energizes the teams. And we see there's a lot of value in this ripple effect of sharing that knowledge and expertise within that organization and that team. That yes, it makes a big difference. Part of the cost that you're paying for with an independent is the fact that as an employer, you're transferring risk to them, right? So they are the ones that can be moved out if you need to flex down. They are the ones who have variable income based on the usage and the output. So the one way to think about is, how do you reduce that risk for them? It's also related to something we've spoken about previously, is scoping out these projects well. So overall, know what you need independent talent for.